Hi guys, I took you guys all back to Plan with Melanin. This is another episode of the Melanin Eclectic Shopcast. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically me pretending like I have this amazing podcast where I just talk about different things that have been ailing me or struggling with me in this business, running my business, sales, whatever I want to talk about. And you guys get to either watch me draw, fill orders, or do something related to my business. So today's topic is going to be about cons, abysmal sales, and the fact that I almost quit 3 times so far this year. I know the big one you guys want to hear first is the fact that I've thought about quitting multiple times this year. And I just want you guys to know, as of right now, I do not have that feeling. That feeling was compounded upon multiple things. I'd be very blunt. Online sales have not been where they should be or where I projected them to be. They have been in a place where it's just been very frustrating because while I'm always grateful for each sale that I get, I was expecting to have more sales. I was expecting to have more consistent sales, which actually led to me analyzing a bunch of different things. So to have a consistent customer base, you would need to have a product or something that not only your customer would use, but something that your customer would use regularly and have to refill. And at the current state of my business, I'm not sure if the business that I'm running is that. And thanks to the cons, they've kind of also been showing me why my customer base might not be as consistent. With also the glaring fact that I, myself, have not been consistent in my business. And for me, I'm one of those people that believes the energy that you put in is the energy that you get out. So the way I've been getting, sometimes great, sometimes not, is also the way that I've been putting into my business lately. And I'm not mad at myself for this, honestly. My personal life, personally, I've been dealing with a lot of things. And so there were moments where I just did not have the brain space to be able to fully facilitate what I needed to facilitate. And so I actually had to choose to step back on a lot of different things. And one of those things was to kind of take a minimal approach to my business, which I knew was going to hurt my sales at some point. But I was hoping that I was going to be able to essentially fix what I needed to fix before that problem got that bad. And unfortunately for me, it took a way longer than I planned to really be able to get my head above water and not feel like I was still drowning from air. And so I believe that one of the factors of these abysmal sales has been me. And I'm still not mad at myself for this. This isn't one of those situations where I'm blaming myself and then going into severe depression because of what I've done. It's more of an acknowledgement of how far I've been coming and the work that I've been putting into myself so that I have the ability to pour into other things. On top of that, at the end of April, I experienced a severe knee injury where I was left unable to walk for the month of May. And then June and July, I have been, it's actually only been 3 months. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I just said that. But we are at a place now where I am walking pretty normally. I'm not getting extreme fatigue from walking around the store. I still have pain in my knee, unfortunately, but it is a severe knee injury. And as my doctor pointed out, I'm in my 30s now. So things are not going to heal as fast as they used to. So that having a knee injury right in the middle of con season was one of the worst experiences for me. So this year I did my first con. It was Comic Palooza here in Houston. And I think we did really, really good. I actually want to do more cons now. I feel like I can fit in at a con. I truly did not believe in my abilities with cons until that time. And so it was just super terrifying. But trying to set up and take down and unload and load was hard. It was really painful. I did have an assistant, but she couldn't always be there for setup, but she was always there for sales and breakdowns. And so I usually had to do setup myself, and it was a lot. I'm not going to lie. It took me a lot longer to do setups. So if an event started at 11, I would actually get there. Cause they usually give you like a 2 or 3 hour window before the event to set up. I would get there as soon as it opened because I knew that I needed the extra time, because pulling a wagon and wearing a knee brace was not going to be a thing. And these events don't care if you're injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, okay, you're injured. And me being stubborn, I didn't ask for more help. I could have asked for more help. Even if it was just, can you help me set up? I should have and could have asked for more help, but I was being stubborn and I didn't, which are lessons for next year, but that's like a whole other Shopcast, honestly. I will say that it was fascinating to see how I measured up to some of the big time girlies. So there were shops that I frequently shop at, like Time and Fables, Moonborn, the girlies that like have good amount of followers and good everything. People that I watch and I wonder, what do they do that makes their stuff so unique and so lovable by everyone? And for a moment during the con, I thought, maybe my stuff is too black. Maybe my stuff feels alienating to other people. And that's why I'm not attracting a lot of customers like I want to. Maybe that's the problem. But then I remembered, like, the reason that I do what I do and that my stationery is more fantastical and black is just because we're not represented the way everyone else is. I've never gone to a con and bought merch and been like, oh my gosh, I don't want to buy this white Sailor Moon because like I'm not white. I've never done that. But I have gone to cons and been like, oh my gosh, a black one. She's so cool. And I kept having those experiences at con where other black people were coming up and just being so in love with the fact that it was it was us, like in fantastical forms. And obviously everybody loved Sailor Melanin Moon. She's a staple. I don't think she's never going away. But to see everybody's face light up when they realized that like I turned Dragon Ball Z into like Afro Saiyans or something like that, where it's like we have always existed in the spaces where these things are loved, but we've never been loved in these spaces. And so I look at my stationery and stuff right now as almost like a love story to the black nerd. And this could possibly mean that as far as growth is concerned, I might not grow as fast. It also means that I'm going to have to put more money into cons because I know who my audience is. And I know that, I want my stuff at DreamCon next year. I want my stuff at BlurredCon next year. I want my stuff at places where my main audience is there and that I can meet more of them. This also means that, I have to put in the work to be the consistent person on social media. And to be honest, I kind of been really hating social media lately. But social media is the easiest way to get out there and meet your audience. Traditional marketing for a small business like mine doesn't seem to really match well. And so I really have to put in that work. And I'm able to breathe a little bit more now. So I'm happy. I'm happy again. It's frustrating. Like my business turned 5 this year and it turned 5 4 days after I injured myself. So on my shop's 5th year anniversary, I was in bed bawling my eyes out because I had this whole thing planned for you guys. It was going to be called The Secret Library. And I had the shop characters ready and everything. But I could not, I was in so much pain that I could not get on camera and pretend like everything was good. Everything was going so wrong. I had friends that would come over and, I'd order groceries and they'd bring the groceries in and like help me out, help pre-make meals for me, things of that nature. So it was like, that was one of those points where I'm like, maybe this is a sign to like give it up. Maybe this is a sign to stop trying, and maybe this is a sign that this is not where I'm supposed to be. And then the con happened and we made back, hit my mic. It's like, maybe this is a sign to keep going, because the con was 3 days. We made back all of the money that we spent for the con within the first 3 hours of the con opening on Friday. And to me, that was huge, because on top of doing these events, it's always like, okay, well, I spent money on parking, the ticket to actually be a part of this event. I had to buy product or whatever. I don't count the product part, but I count everything else where it was like, did we sell things? I sold out of products at con. I have never sold out of something that was brand new before, and I did at con. And that was just one con. So it's like, imagine what we're going to do for these other ones. So also, if you're listening to this and you know of any cons, I would prefer the ones in Texas first. But if I got to get in a car and drive or hop on a plane, and just ship my stuff to a friend's house, so be it. Just, got to do what you got to do. So yeah, let me know. I think that it was good. So on top of doing the con, I also did a Juneteenth event, and I did a planner event, and I haven't done a planner event in a really long time. Your girl is super rusty. But this was a reminder that I need to remember to cater to each event differently. So for example, the Juneteenth event was not a nerd event. So for this one, it was like art prints and things like that are not usually the things that sell well for like Juneteenth type of events, right? They're looking for like journals, notepads, stationery, bookmarks, enamel pens are always a good one. And especially if I have any like really like pro-Black ones. So I had to keep that in mind. Whereas planner world, like I needed my functional planner stickers and things of that nature. And like, just a reminder of like, this is what I needed to do. Sticker organization, stuff like that. So Q2 was full of learning, was full of, I guess, overcoming obstacles that I didn't plan on overcoming. Q2 was a lot. And Q2 really did a number on my mind. But yeah. So another moment of Q2 was me accepting the realization that my planner, the Melanin Eclectic Fantasy series, had to pause. And that for 2024, there would not be tags and videos of people using my planners and loving my artwork. And even talking about it now kind of makes me emotional, because it makes me feel like a failure. It makes me feel hate the fact that this makes me emotional. It just makes me feel like the direction that I planned was just like so off. And I am a type A. I think I've said that before. I am a type A. And so I feel as though like this is a sign to, like, not a sign, but this is just like an indicator of what kind of year I've been having. And I just find it's been super, super hard. And it's been so frustrating and just all around not what I was expecting, and having to prove to myself that I can handle things when I'm not sure I can, and having to accept where I am and not see it as an acceptance of failure has been so crazy. Like, if you've noticed, like, my social media has been really quiet. My, YouTube's been really quiet. Everything's been so quiet because I've been working so hard. And it's like now that I'm out of the water and I'm breathing better, even now, trying to remind myself, like, having to postpone the planner is okay. And eventually I'm going to feel like it's okay. Right now, it hurts. It really, really hurts. I keep looking at the artwork that I've drawn and trying to convince myself that I can salvage this. Like, I can make this better. They won't notice the difference, or they won't notice what I notice. And that's just never been my thing. So it's like I can't put out something that I'm not happy with. And I also can't stress myself out to the point of freak out, trying to get it somewhere where I'd be happy with it. And that's the main reason why I have to put it aside. And honestly, it's okay. Because once I finally made the decision that I would be making videos talking about this feeling and talking about the way that it makes me feel and the way that it makes me emotional, I knew that this was a good call because the anxiety that I've been feeling about it just released. And I've been drawing a lot more. So I've been experiencing crazy art block in a sense of I've been drawing things and I feel like they have not been up to standard. I've been drawing things and feeling like the vision in my head is not being articulated properly on paper. And I've been drawing a lot more analog lately too. So it's just one of those things where I'm like accepting where I am as a person and where I am in this business is been the lesson. So while it's been making me feel like maybe I'm actually not cut out for this and maybe I should quit, it's also been showing me that like, you need to show up. So we're year 6, year 6, we were supposed to come back with the 2025 planner and I already have a theme. I'm already inspired by the theme. I have even already started plotting out the cover designs. It's just interesting. It's interesting what happens when you let go and let God and just let it happen. So that's kind of where I've been. I think I've been talking for a little too much. But I just wanted to remind you guys that we did come out with some bookmarks this month. And we are coming out with Spooky Couture, and Spooky Couture will be announced at the end of this month. So yeah, thank y'all so much for listening to this Shopcast. I don't know what episode this is. I had every intention of doing one of these episodes like every 2 weeks. But again, life has been lifing. And at this point, I surrendered to God and let him handle it. So would love to know your thoughts. Please leave comments down below. If you didn't see a picture or something attached to this, it meant that I was okay showing my face. And as there are no like large streaks streaming down my face, it means that I did not cry. So I survived. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. And until the next time, guys, bye.